Right here, right in that next building.
But in a class.
In a class.
In Dick
ethics.
Ellsworth.
Ethics.
Ellsworth ethics class, yeah. It ended up being basically Tony and I against the rest of the class, including Dick Ellsworth. Yeah.
We didn't really know each other during that class at all. We were sat on opposite sides, and our entire dialogue was as part of the class discussion, right?
Right. There is a discussion and debate about whether MBA program is worth the money or not. And it's for good reasons. But in my case, I totally needed it. I needed every class. I had absolutely no accounting. You know, almost everyone hates accounting, and I did too, but it was absolutely necessary. I needed it. I am glad I had that. And all of those, I am not a quantitative person, but I had all the classes that I needed to have. And I'm saying it from a perspective of someone who never took a corporate job. So I did not need the title. I did not need one of the best MBAs in the country to have a better salary. I would not be able to achieve what I achieved without the school.
It was almost like a philosophical education as much as a skills education. I mean, clearly we both, coming from outside the business world, we needed to ground ourselves in a lot of fundamentals we knew nothing about. But beyond that, being exposed to the kind of holistic management philosophy of Peter Drucker was very impactful, and for both of us. I mean, we would both fully agree that we run a Peter Drucker company. Everything we do has that kind of holistic perspective of looking at all the stakeholders and how the whole system fits together. And I remember we had that big debate in our class as well, because at that time there was kind of a financial-driven class, you know, maximizing shareholder value was the only objective, and then there was a more Drucker half of the class, and it was almost split 50-50.
There was a Saturday class.
There was a Saturday class that almost ended in a riot.
It did. It did.
It was Peter Ellsworth and the Drucker half versus the finance students, basically, and it was very animated, and it's irreconcilable because they're two almost opposing philosophies.
We're definitely helping pharma companies to kind of shorten the path to people who can take information about how much better their innovation is, how much better their medicine is, and push it significantly faster forward in the marketplace. That's the core of what we do, that we're helping pharma companies to find people who are scientists, who will buy into their science, who are respected by others, and who will, by the fact that they bought into their science, will influence others to start prescribing or buying into the same thing.
And that's another big difference in how we look at things, and it's kind of the big data perspective. When companies would look at a disease area, quote unquote, you know, several years ago, it would be surveying the top 50 high publishers, you know, in a particular space, which doesn't really tell you much about that community as a whole. But when you look at big data, you can see all the different stakeholder groups or institutionally focused groups or science-focused groups. So we have that perspective, and we have the individual data, but also the perspective of how that entire community of individuals works. And it's prescribers and commercial people as well as just the scientists, so the doctors who are treating patients, writing prescriptions. I think the kind of businesses that America wants and needs to be leading in are knowledge businesses, you know, the kind of businesses that Drucker really was focused on towards the end of his life. And the people who run those businesses are smart, educated people. There are a lot of young people. It's a diverse employee population. So yeah, we pay a lot in California for taxes and, you know, all the regulatory stuff that we have to deal with being in California. But, you know, that's a cost of doing business if you want to be in the knowledge business, you know, where those skill sets exist.
Many people believe that they could be entrepreneurs until they kind of hit the reality of life, and that's also very good education for many people, but you can kind of assess yourself very easily. Do you stress a lot? How do you deal with risk? Can you imagine not having any income leaving the school, not having any income for 12 months. If you fail, do you beat yourself up, or do you just get up and say, you know, it was fun, it didn't work out, let's move on.
Part of what you have to do, hopefully while you're still in the program, is think about yourself as sort of a product, right? Where do I want to be in 5 years, and how am I going to get myself there? Do I have the skills I need? What are the steps to get to where I want to go? If you're an entrepreneur, that road's going to zigzag whether you want it to or not, but we've always been very systematic in knowing where we wanted to be.
The other thing is that we also very deliberately followed a niche strategy. So we did not come up with the grandiose ideas that you would be able to sell eventually for billions of dollars. We have always stayed kind of close to the ground in many ways, and we have carved out a niche for ourselves, and we try to dominate that niche.